目が覚めた。誰も彼も眠った頃、夜の冷気でまぶたを開ける。暗い夜。家の中にみんなはいない。凶器を手にしてやってくる。みんなをそうしたように、僕もバラバラにしたいみたい。よくわからない。森は黒くて見たくない。地面は赤くて見たくない。だから空を見上げることにした。夜空にはただ一人きりの月がある。音もないままドスンと痛みが走った。何も見えない。世界がだんだん消えていく。その中でずっときれいに輝いてる。ああ、気がつかなかった。今夜はこんなにも月がきれいだ。
Tohno Shiki is the protagonist of Tsukihime, Type Moon's first visual novel, which recently saw a remake of its near-side routes. Tsukihime chronicles the story and life of a teenage boy named Tohno Shiki. Several years prior, Shiki suffered a life-threatening injury, resulting in his hospitalization along with not being able to recall the tragic event. His memory is almost suppressed or fragmented. Shiki awakens to a strange new world. Upon awakening in the hospital, Shiki started to see these jagged lines and scribbles graffitied over everything, which he alone can only see. If Shiki traces these lines with a sharp tool, the object to which the lines belong to will die or be destroyed. Soon after discovering his power, he is given a special pair of glasses by a woman, to whom he calls Sensei. These glasses are able to negate the effects of his eyes, blocking out and even erasing the lines for as long as he wears them. He is then able to live a normal life again. However, was soon disowned by his father amidst the accident, and now lives with his family relatives. After several years of passing, he receives an odd call from the Tohno family, indicating that he will be moving back. Shiki is one of my favorite characters in the Nasuverse. His mysterious past, once unveiled, offers a deep insight into his character, his family, and his true nature. However, in this video, I'll be exploring Shiki on a more superficial level, focusing on his character as presented in the near-side routes, without delving into his past or revealing major spoilers. Shiki's character is defined by three key elements: death, duality, and his perception of life, which together serves as a reflection of the human condition. Shiki walks a constant tightrope between life and death. His anemic episodes, the vampiric and supernatural world he's thrusted into, and the mysterious near-death experience he endured are all intertwined with the theme of death. His mystic eyes of death perception, which allow him to see the lines of death, are a testament to this. Shiki symbolically mirrors death, a presence so profound that even Arcueid, a vampire, sees him more inhuman than her own kind. The lines he sees represents the vulnerabilities of the world, the beginning and end of life. This applies to both objects and beings. The more Shiki uses his eyes, the more vulnerable he becomes, increasing his susceptibility to anemia, psychological decline, and, potentially, death itself. Shiki's constant proximity to death forces him to confront his humanity and morality. It adds a sense of duality to his character, juxtaposing normalcy with the supernatural. When he first awakened at the hospital, the lines were a curse upon Shiki. Instead of awakening to a world of normalcy, he woke up to a world devoid of such. Shiki asks the doctor what the lines were and why it was graffitied everywhere in the hospital room. The doctor walked out, informing the nurses that Shiki was inhibiting signs of cognitive decline as per a side effect of the near-death experience he had. From that moment on, Shiki realized that what he was seeing wasn't normal. The ability to see these lines and destroy the things they marked isolated him from the world. He felt he shouldn't even be alive. He was an anomaly. Living day after day with this curse made Shiki desperate to return to his old life. He became more of an outcast, overwhelmed by the burden of seeing those lines. It wasn't until Aoko Aozaki appeared, giving him a special pair of glasses that negated those lines, that he found a sliver of his old life again. Yet, this sense of duality persisted into the main events of Tsukihime. Shiki's duality is evident in his struggle to reconcile his humanity with the violent potential of his abilities. This burden distances himself from others, as he grapples with the knowledge that he could easily destroy everything he cares about. His calm exterior often hides the fear and confusion he feels about his own identity and the dangerous power he wields. Shiki's duality also mirrors the broader themes of Tsukihime, where characters navigate the fine line between ordinary life and the supernatural. His battle to control his darker impulses, especially with his first meeting with Arcueid, and his desire for a normal life, illustrates the tension between these two worlds. This internal struggle makes Shiki a deeply nuanced character, embodying the conflict between light and darkness within himself and the world around him. This duality between humanity and the supernatural offers insight into Shiki's perception of life and provides a deeper narrative about the human condition. In the prologue, where Shiki meets Aoko, there is a simple yet compelling exchange between them. Shiki, eager to demonstrate his abilities, cuts down a tree in the field where they sat. Aoko, angered, slaps Shiki, but then embraces him. What follows after is a lesson that Shiki will never forget. Aoko explains that his eyes are not to be used lightly. They are powerful, and he must bear the responsibility for them. Shiki, saddened, realizes the weight of his actions and how thoughtless he was in cutting the only tree in the field. This moment teaches Shiki that death is not to be taken lightly. Living with death at his side shows the remarkable power he possesses, but more importantly, underscores the fragility of life. There's another compelling moment in Arcueid's route, when she and Shiki wander around his school. Sitting in his classroom, Shiki reflects on his time there, talking about the significance of seemingly pointless things. Arcueid asks him if he truly understands the weight of his existence, and if he enjoys his life. This conversation offers deep insight into Shiki's character and his philosophy on life. It's a scene that resonates with me greatly. As people, we often engage in activities that seem inconvenient, inefficient, or pointless. Shiki argues that these pointless things, learning from something in school we may never use, or wandering aimlessly through a city, are part of the human experience. He believes that these seemingly meaningless experiences help us find a point or purpose in our existence. Shiki doesn't feel the need to have a goal until he's lived long enough to find one. As he says, if I can look back on this period of my life with enjoyment, I think that'll give all the meaning that it needs. For Shiki, living in the moment and being okay without having everything figured out is a source of pleasure and calm, a stark contrast to his constant dance with death. Given the fragility of his existence and the strain of his eyes, Shiki could die at any moment. But does he really enjoy life itself? It's not just a question of his enjoyment, but of how anyone could enjoy life under such conditions. Shiki's ability to see the start and end of all things and people highlights that it's not just him who's vulnerable to death. Everyone is. This understanding deepens his appreciation for human life and shapes his sense of morality. Shiki doesn't know if life is truly fun, but he knows one thing for certain: life is beautiful. His eyes may be a constant reminder of death, but they also remind him of the fleeting nature of human existence. Miraculously revived after once dying, Shiki derives joy from the simple pleasure of living. His existence is a reminder of his old life, when everything was normal. Shiki finds meaning in the mundane, the ordinary, and the pointless. He understands that some things in life are useless, but they are not something you can easily cut out from our experience. Shiki's pragmatism, combined with his desire to fit back into human society, fuels his determination to defend it and to develop a deep appreciation for the act of simply living.
たださ、生きてるだけで楽しいんじゃないかな。今までが楽しかったから、これからもやっていこうって気になるんだ。きっと、そうに違いない。
そっか。それが四季の心なんだ。そうしているだけで楽しい。か。そうよね。余分なことだって分かっていても、楽しいのなら切り捨てることはできないもの。
The more you examine Shiki, the more he mirrors the human condition. What he believes about human life reflects the way we live our lives. We derive meaning from habitual actions, even if we don't always recognize it. Just as we often reflect on seemingly useless times in our lives, so too does Shiki. Human existence is filled with mundaneness, uncertainty, fragility, and a yearning for purpose. In the midst of his inhumanity, whether it's from his unnatural impulses, his cursed eyes, his walk between life and death, or his lost memories, Shiki is profoundly human. They shape his desires, morality, and philosophy, qualities uniquely attributed to humanity. Watching Shiki navigate these challenges is a testament to his character and to Tsukihime's phenomenal writing. Tohno Shiki's journey in Tsukihime is a profound exploration of life, death, duality, and the human condition. His struggles with the burden of his mystic eyes and his desire for a normal life reveals a deep philosophical reflection on the fragility and beauty of human existence. Shiki's experiences remind us that the seemingly pointless and ordinary moments in life are what gives it meaning. Through Shiki, Tsukihime presents a nuanced narrative that challenges our perceptions of life and death while celebrating the simple, often overlooked aspects of being human. If there is something we can take away from Shiki, it is that we should be happy that we're given a chance to live. For someone like himself, who can see the death of all things, proves that our lives are fragile and brittle. To recognize that is to have a deep appreciation for life. It's the little things that give life meaning, because they all soon add up into something we call purpose. So let's not take for granted the life we've been given, and cherish the mundane, our memories, and stay grateful.